Hello, another vlog style type video coming at you. As with before, this is one take, no edits. So I love you for watching and putting up with my, unorganized blathering through this. But I wanted to post a video because I haven't in a while. I know I had planned to post every week, but I was so burnt out. And I realized it was better to gather my eggs, get my, or what is it called? Get my ducks in a row. Basically, get my shit together, get my life together, and then post with purpose, with structure, so that I have more operational efficiency and it's not like so taxing every time. And then also it's so that there's more consistency, not only in terms of pacing for videos, but also framework. That'll help audiences really ingest the material better, but also me create materials better. But yeah, I mean, what a wild year it's been, even last year into this year, of me really trying to figure myself out in life. So today I'm just going to vent about my life plans and then also what I'm kind of thinking now. You know, it's still very much in flux. I'm going to give myself the rest of December. It's December, I think, 13th today. Rest of December to kind of ideate, brainstorm. And then in the new year, kind of what I have planned. So I'll talk about that. So right now I am in my childhood home in good old New Jersey. You know, it's a wild thing to, in some sense, move back into your mom's basement kind of thing. There's definitely an aspect of like humbling and you know, kind of checks the ego a bit, but you know, that's a silly reason not to do something that is strategically and financially beneficial and more viable. Basically what happened is I realized that, so I'm moving back from LA and it's not certain. I put stuff in storage and I'm here. I was going to come here mostly for the holidays anyway, so definitely December and like good part into January. And then I realized that, okay, actually, let me take a step back. So to give you my timeline of what's happened in my life in the last 2 years, I left Hulu in summer of 2019, so right as quarantine was happening. Is that 2019? Yeah. And then I spent about, you know, maybe 9 months working on my own startup with a co-founder. And then once I shut that down, I moved back to LA because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but there was a big chance that I wanted to consider working for corporate Hollywood again, LA, working in gaming. Gaming is also very much, there's a huge hub in LA, gaming and esports, or doing social media. So also a big hub in LA. So that's why I moved back to LA instead of what my co-founder did, which was move back to Jersey. We were working on the company in Oakland. And then a year went by of me I did contract and work for a digital media startup for a while. I left that because I wanted to do other things. It wasn't the right fit. And then I, was really working on TikTok and then decided to launch a YouTube channel. But it wasn't until maybe around August, October of this year, so a couple months ago, that it clicked that I don't want to make content this kind of side hustle kind of thing. I want to double down, triple down into it. And I've been saying this for a while, but it didn't really click until I think a few months ago that that's what I want to get into. So it took like 2 months of a lag for me to realize if I'm like a just starting out creator, I actually don't need to be in LA, right? The benefit you get out of LA is like, you can schmooze and network with a lot of other creators. You can collab. There's a lot of amazing set piece worthy scenery and locations. Excuse me. And there's just a good like mind hub in LA. But, at the end of the day, 80% of the magic and the value happens in your studio, in your room, in your basement, whatever. And that's so much more important. And I realized that in the few months that I had left the startup, wasn't getting an income, I started to go into deep financial scarcity because I was sort of living like I was still making six figures plus on zero income. And then once I started trying some like contracting, trying some sponsored posts, things like that, I quickly got into this framework of like, I need to make it. I need to scale monetarily immediately. Very short-term thinking, very scarce thinking. And with content, you know, you have to be super abundant. You have to be super coming from just a place of like wanting to help other people, wanting to make other people laugh, wanting to, you know, give value instead of take value, make money. So I realized like, oh yeah, maybe like what is the reason that I need to be in LA? There's pride there. There's just like convenience there. But you know, I was paying like $12.50, which isn't bad, but for like a small-ish, not that newish apartment room where the flexibility in filming wasn't quite what I wanted it to be. And then the other thing is like, you know, integrating with my like the shit that's important to me in terms of family. Like my mom's been living alone for a while. They're thinking of selling the house, so maybe I can help with that. It's been a while since I connected with my friends in New York, 3 years. And also, like, if I start podcasting and interviewing my friends and stuff, there's a bunch in New York that I would love to do before I head back to LA. So that's kind of what's been on my mind in terms of maybe this stint in Jersey is not a stint and maybe it becomes more of a, you know, maybe not 3 months, but more like 6 to 9 to 12 to 18 to 24 months. We'll see. But I do think that location matters a lot less now, especially when it comes to solopreneurship or solo content creation. I mean, like Mr. Beast isn't like, you know, he's not in LA. He's not in New York, you know. So that's kind of my thinking. And then next year, I think the big things I'm going to focus on are YouTube and course creation. So TikTok, I love TikTok. I'm not going to stop making TikToks, but I'm going to think of TikTok more as a distribution channel as opposed to a product. So marketing versus product. It's not going to be all ads or something. It's more that I'm going to create free content meant to bring you to my YouTube and course creation. YouTube, because I think YouTube is where, like, the things that I really want to talk about, YouTube just has long form where I can get more nuanced and like have deeper discussions about like banking and recruiting and financial literacy and corporate media and things like that, where TikTok, it gets a little bit hard to squeeze all that in into like 8 seconds to 60 seconds. And then course creation, a lot of it has to do with, you know, I do have financial ambitions, and Miss Excel right now is blowing up all over like Twitter and, you know, the Times and stuff like that. Miss Excel, if you don't know, she got big on TikTok and then she started selling Excel courses and now is making like up to 100K per day is like the nice headline metric. And that's a shocking number, but it's also like, I knew she was going to get there. And I'm kicking myself because I'm filled with inspiration. I'm filled with envy. I'm filled with negative self-talk of like, oh man, like you should have gotten there sooner. But you know, I have my own journey. But I do think that I have a lot of like limiting thoughts and doubts and what ifs and things like that. But the other side of me has the abundance mentality side of me thinks that, you know, that's the future of course creation. Like that's what I believe. That's the future of education. Is going to be a lot more of those types of personality-driven courses, or like a coalition of personalities teaching certain topics. And I want to replicate, not completely copy. I want to replicate her scale and success. What I would teach would probably be geared a little bit more towards financial analysis, investment banking related stuff, and conventions and best practices. not just Excel per se, but also like more specifically geared towards financial analysis, and then maybe more towards like D2C, like consumer data analysis, because that's what I have experience in. Yeah, I a lot has held me back of like I really want to make financial literacy accessible to everyone. How can I justify charging several $100s? But like, that's a logical fallacy. Like several $100s is nothing compared to an MBA, or sometimes it's not even a matter of money. It's that like a lot of people in America just don't have access, even if they would have paid $1,000, because the people that are willing to teach are busy, or just how do you network with them if you don't have connections or stuff like that. So that's just one example, like pricing. But I have all these like dumb, not real excuses. Well, maybe they're real reasons, but they're excuses. They're very real excuses, meaning I can overcome them, kind of thing. So wow, I really rambled a lot today. So that's what I'm thinking. YouTube, course creation, and then I will probably start with basic Excel, and then advanced Excel and financial modeling. And then I want to use Excel to teach like trading comps, debt paydown analysis, pro forma cap tables, 3-statement modeling, discounted cash flow modeling. And then maybe I'll have like a separate interview, like how to think about investment banking and finance interview process, how to think about recruiting and best tips for recruiting and interviewing. So that's where I'm thinking, but I don't want to put, I often overexcite myself with the big picture and then lose interest because the daily grind of the immediate next steps isn't as like yummy as the big picture. So I'm going to resist. When I catch myself, I'm going to try and not like just fantasize and sit in fantasy land too much. So that I focus on enjoying the next step. So right now, my next step is going to be, for the rest of the year, enjoy family time, because I haven't really seen, our family hasn't been in the same place, like all 4 of us together, in like several years since like I graduated college. So that'll be nice. And then nail down this plan and like have a lot of conviction in it. A part of the reason that I kept getting burnt out in the last few months is that like every week I would think like, oh, maybe the answer is sponsored posts. Oh, maybe the answer is 2 TikTok accounts instead of 1. Oh, maybe the answer is Twitch and then Discord and not YouTube. Too much context switching is just, guaranteed burnout. So I'm going to avoid doing that. I'm going to focus on 1, even 2 is probably too much. Maybe, yeah, just 1 or 2 things. I think YouTube and content course creation. And then I also have this like I also realized I have this block around buying a course to guide me through this stuff. So I think I am going to like participate in one of these like course creation courses, which is a bit meta, but I think it'll be valuable. So yeah, thanks for listening. I'll leave it at that, and look forward to seeing more of you, talking to you more in the new year as I post more frequently. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.